Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Jose. I am a golden in Kendo, and this is Kendo Tips, where we're gonna be watching some videos. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them here. And also, we're gonna try to learn something to put into our Kendo and to keep always improving. So, welcome to the stream. If you're here, let me know that you're here by either hitting the like button or just sending a message in the chat. And I'm getting a notification that is an error on the stream, so if you're having any lag issues or something like that, let me know. Yeah, I feel like there's some let me see. Let me try connecting directly to the internet, to the cable. In 1 second, guys. So as you say, is laggy? Yeah, it's a bit laggy. I see it. I'm trying to figure out why it's laggy. Because everything on my end says it's good, but YouTube is telling me that it's not getting enough information. Okay, it seemed to be better now. I'm just gonna pray for the base, for the best, and I just said base because I just saw Hobby's comment. Thank you. It's actually a very cheap base, but I really like the color. I got it here in Japan. I really like the color of it. It's like very standard, like the cheap Ibanez version of it. So yeah, I play guitar. That's my main instrument, but I wanted to pick up the bass and practice a little bit, get some stuff going in there. Anyways, guys, so this week was the All Japan Kendo Championship. I will not be putting videos of that here yet because they haven't posted the individual videos. It's only on the live, and a lot of the good matches, they have like a far away angle, so I kind of want to wait for them to post the videos of the fights, or at least Ippon compilation, so we can watch that, enjoy that. So I have a Hachidan Ippon compilation that we're going to continue watching from last week. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. This week I managed to practice with Kajitani. He has a YouTube channel. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. So we did a little bit of an interview. I'm waiting for Dosando to send me the files and like all the videos. Wait, why is this thing playing? Wait, give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why. Why is this thing playing another music? 1 second, guys, because then my channel's gonna be okay. For some reason, yeah, it's a nice song, but then YouTube's gonna go crazy on it, and it's gonna tell me like, oh, you're using the song that you're not supposed to use, and I don't know why it's this playing, so I just stopped it. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so hopefully now. Yeah, it's not good. Sorry, guys, a little bit of technical issues today. My bad. So, okay. Anyways, I got to practice with Kajitani-san, and he's really good. He's really strong, and I was expecting him to be that strong. That one thing that I really enjoy watching his footwork, and I tried asking him, to give me some pointers, and what he was saying, and I found it very interesting, is because of the height difference. He's very short compared to me. I'm not gonna say very, very short, right? But like he's much shorter than me. Because of the height difference, maybe his style of footwork is not really suitable for my body style, which I totally understand. But there are many things that I saw him do that I want to implement in my Kendo. And one of them is that when he moves, he looks like he is hopping, right? Like when he moves, when I'm seeing him forward, like from face to face, he looks normal, like he's sliding in, right? But when he's moving, when I saw him from side to side, it's like he's hopping. So like when he moves one foot, he immediately moves the other. So, and he does it so sharply that I really want to practice and implement a little bit of that in my kendo. And it kind of got me thinking about some things that I need to do to make my kendo my kendo. So I'll be pondering on that quite a lot in the next couple of weeks and figure out what can I do to like identify, depending on body style, different styles of kendo was like suitable and stuff like that for me specifically. And yeah, I will be working on that quite a lot. So hopefully that's something I can share with you. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, there's some opportunities coming up with Tosando as well, so I'm excited for that, but I'll keep you guys updated as things actually do start happening, rather than, you know, just saying things when they're not solidified. Anyways, so lately we've been in the stream talking about why to attack, or when is the right time to attack, and that's kind of the pointer that I want to keep going with this here. This is another okay, sorry, I did wanted to watch one fight from the All Japan tournament, but we'll do that after this Ippon compilation, because I found a good angle on that one, so we can do that. Anyways, why to attack, when to attack, that's going to be the theme for today's stream. I do have to say that a lot of it that I want to be looking at is what's happening before the moment of impact, right? Before the moment of commitment to a technique. So we're going to be working on that. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And Shen, hi, welcome to the stream. Sorry I didn't see that before. Okay, so we saw this Ippon on last week. Oh, nice approach. Nice, a very strong. Okay, this is something that I want to break down, because this is something that I feel that we can all use in our kendo. Let me just see what Shen said. Shen, you said that in my Myrmidon Bogu review that you will do another review after half a year. Has it been half a year? Yeah, I posted the half a year one, at least almost a year already, and I got a new Bogu from Andy. Should I show you guys part of the Bogu? Let me know if you want me to do that, because it's in the other room, so I kind of want to know. But yeah, it's in the channel. And I will be doing a comparison of this new Bogu and the Myrmidon, and also kind of give the 1 year review on the Myrmidon. So yeah. If you have any questions here, I will answer them though. So let me know. So I want to watch Red real quick, and normally I would say that Red is taking very long steps, right? When he's coming in forward, which is normally not something that you want to do, right? Like there's a lot of time between the back leg coming into position sometimes, but look at the last one. Like after this, you know, like he comes in with a little bit of fluidity, right? Like from one step to the next. And that's one thing that I think we should all implement in our kendo, because a lot of times when people take one step, myself included, right, there's that first step, and then there's like a little bit of a moment of fixing that back step or shifting the weight so you can take the next step. But here, if you watch, look how fluid he goes from one step to the other, right? It's like, look at the back foot. Immediately when he's putting the foot down, it's interesting because normally I feel that a lot of us Westerners, we're too heavy on our feet. So if you watch here, even though it's a little bit of a long step, or it's coming from a little bit of a long step, he's almost getting off the front foot immediately or almost as if before it touches the floor, the back foot. So smooth, so smooth. Even though he's doing some of the stuff that we're told not to do in Kendo, like, you know, like landing with the heel as we're moving forward, he's being very, very, very smooth on his footwork. And honestly, this is not something that I know exactly how to explain how to do, but I think if you start becoming aware of these things, you can start implementing it in your practice, or start at least copying this type of things. So something that definitely you want to try to understand how to do better. Those steps, because those steps are so important. Now, great eye on how he threw that kote in here, right? I think that was so good. And it wasn't worth the ippon. Don't ask me why. Why do you guys think that wasn't an ippon? Timing was great. Impact was great. So if you were a Shimpan, would you agree? If you were a Shimpan, would you give this as an ippon? Let's watch the whole thing. And if you wouldn't, why wouldn't you? I think it's an interesting study. Oh. Okay. Let me go back a little bit further until we're here. And I'm going to say this. One thing that I was told on preparation for my Godan test is to make the interaction interesting. To make the moment of communication meaningful. And for the judges to see something is happening. You're not attacking because there's so much tension that everybody knows that if you go at the wrong time, something bad is gonna happen, right? You want to have a good communication, and the judges should be immersed into this communication. And I think this is what's happening at this moment. Watch this. Every second there is very intense. Every second there is very intense. And if you notice, white went in and red took advantage of it because the attention was there, the pressure was there, and everything just worked and just kept this, how do I say this? And everything worked together. So as we saw, white went in a moment where maybe he should have gone and he didn't do it, getting an opening, and red took advantage of it because the attention was there, because the communication was there and everything was happening. So if you're able to keep that tension and attention to your opponent, not only you're going to have more opportunities, but also the people outside, the judges watching you, are going to be more engaged and interested into that fight. The moments where there's no attack is not gonna feel like it's boring. It's not gonna feel like nothing is happening. So you always have to try to create that feeling that even when there's not a technique being executed, always something's happening. Hope that makes sense, and let me know your tips for that. Sean, you're saying that hazard durability on the 10mm stitch is part of the men on the top? Perfect. As a matter of fact, still my most used men at the moment and most protective. he must have kiar men instead of kote. Ah, you mean for the point that it didn't nippon? That shouldn't matter though. Like what you say for the ippon, it shouldn't matter. But maybe you're right. Now, if you watch, it's not necessarily that red gave pressure at this point, but white came in a little bit on a blind and made a big opening that red was just ready for it and was able to take it on the spot. I really admire the fact that how relaxed red looked before, but then immediately switched it into an aggressive and explosive attack. This is another skill that you definitely need to put in your repertoire. Being able to be relaxed, but at the same time, at a moment's notice, switch up into full power, 100% speed, and good snap on your technique. Oh, that was risky, right? That kote was risky, but worked. And maybe this is what he was trying to do in the previous ippon, right? Because he did a big motion up. So we're talking about creating opportunities and why you should attack. So what are your best ways to create an opening? What are your best ways or your favorite way to create an opening for your technique? So in this case, you see white makes a big motion to threaten the man, or just to make sure that, or even to make the opponent just come in, and then he got that opening to which he switched for the kote. So watch. Comes in aggressively. Big motion. So it's very interesting too, because if you look at the stepping of the first, if you look at how he stepped on that first motion, he comes in to give a threat. He fixes his back foot. Red replies with that pressure, and there was a moment of hesitation, but instead he decides to launch forward with a big motion. He makes Red open up by lifting his hands and going for a man, but then he takes in that kote by switching the sword around, being very explosive and coming in for that technique. Very sharp. Just watch out one more time. Very cool. Very cool. Oh. Very nice, very nice. See how smooth he moves his feet? Pretty cool, pretty good. Nice separation, nice attention. Watch this exchange here. They're locking in, attention is forward, both are trending towards the center, and then they both go back sharply. Very good, very awesome. Oh. Look how sharp, look how quick he does that. He puts pressure, holds himself slightly, but then he keeps the foot sliding, the forward foot sliding. Key element on this is keeping the hands to yourself, right? He's not extending the hands prior to moving his legs. His legs move first. And he's able to assess the distance and get the right target based on what the opponent gave him because he had his hands inwards, right? Many times the mistake that we make in our practice is that we tend to throw our hands before or a little bit too early. So the longer you can hold your hands in, the more opportunities you're gonna have to accurately getting your target. And also to avoid getting stuck with your opponent. So if you're able to launch your body with the upper body relaxed, you're able to also then change where your sword is gonna go. So if you had so for example, if you had in mind that you're gonna go for the man, but you're relaxed and your opponent kind of brought the sword up, well, guess what? You haven't thrown your hands, then you can change and go for that kote. And I think something like this is what happened here, right? He was a little bit close to his opponent. He came really close, so he could have gone for man. And then, instead of going for man, he had the opportunity for the kote, so he took that very nicely. And again, very good follow through after, right? Make sure that he closes the distance, stay safe. Very cool. So Aaron, you gave us some comment. Let me just make sure that I can switch here because I cannot see the comment. You like to pressure low to test the waters, usually followed by a man for you because you are tall. So you don't have to flatten out your shinai much more anyways. You love pressuring men to try to open up kote. Yeah, if you're tall and if you're good at throwing the men and going in for men, I think kote can be a very good opportunity, especially degote, right? Because maybe people are going to be afraid that you're going to come in for the men, so they try to go before you. But if you anticipate that, you can actually get that kote ahead of them, right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay. Oh, guys, I haven't done this, but if you're not part of the Discord server, feel free to join the Discord. It's completely free, and you get to meet more Kendo people there. And if you like to support Kendo Tips, you can become a member, get some extra perks, or you can just send a super thanks. It really helps the channel. What I'm trying to do right now, and I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to use the funds that I'm getting for, is that I want to hire a translator to take around for interviews with senseis and then do specific maybe like classes, especially for members. I can do a practice where people can ask questions and, you know, get a little bit more extra information. But overall, I want to hire an interpreter to go around to interview senseis or maybe competitors and stuff like that, because I think it will be a very interesting thing to do, and being here in Japan gives me that opportunity. So yeah, if you have the ability, maybe we can make this work. So as you said, they didn't award the kote. Which kote? Oh, whoa, you're right. Oh, my bad. Oh, wow. I guess I'm still sleepy. Yo, the reaction was so good. Okay, like the kote hit the fist, right? So yeah, that's probably why they didn't get the fist. But I don't know about this man though. What do you guys think about this man? It sounded like I didn't think about it as being a man because it sounded like Mengane, right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Bad call on my part, completely. maybe a shimpan, maybe if I'm the shimpan on the bottom left, maybe I would have given that kote. I would have raised my flag, right? No, in this angle where he is, right here where the bottom left shimpan is, okay, maybe I could have seen it better. But even so, maybe I feel like I would have raised my flag for the kote. Did any of the judges here? But all three judges agreed that this was a mendo, so we have to learn from this, right? I mean, solid timing, right? Solid timing on that man. So, yeah, for me, I wasn't I would hesitate on giving that point because of being mengane a little bit. Like to me, it looked like instead of hitting like this, it kind of hit on this angle. So that's why I'm saying mengane. I'm not saying because the impact touched mengane, whatever, because it came like this. So I have to practice my shimpanning. Okay, Ega Sensei, of course, coming in with the magic. Oh, how does he do it? Okay. You see, like he came in with such a smooth step. His opponent cover, and I always say this, right? Like when you just have somebody that overreacted by covering, they're gonna overcompensate. So immediately he starts bringing the sword down, and Ega Sensei, from that smooth step that he took, he went forward. This is the importance, guy, why I say footwork, it's key. So right now I'm working on developing a way to kind of fix problems in Kendo, especially for myself, right? So the points, I'm studying specific points that I feel make the most impact on our progress. One is our core, right? So if you watch Ega Sensei, as he moves around, his body is always straight, right? And this comes from good core engagement, making the trunk of your body stay straight and together with your hips. So the next point to watch is power coming from the legs, right? Like the engagement of the back foot. And if you watch this step here, he has this by, I call it anchoring, may not be the right term for it, but he's immediately pushing with the back leg, again with the upper body straight. Now the next thing to keep in mind is the shoulders being relaxed and connected forward towards the opponent, right? They're not up, but instead, I guess maybe forward is not the right word, but like the shoulders are down and the intention from the elbows is towards the opponent. As he's bringing the elbows in, he's bringing the elbows towards the opponent, using the left hand to move the tip and the right hand to support it. And then the last chain of the last link of the chain is the use of the wrist for the tenouchi, right? Which it's all perfect here, man. And then if you watch, even when he doesn't have to, right? Like when he doesn't, one thing that you will see from good kendoka is that the back foot jumps off the floor even when they're doing short steps. So if you watch here, even though that he's pretty much doing fumikomi on the spot, his energy is lifting the back foot off the ground even before he does the fumikomi. And then both feet land on the floor at the fumikomi time, right? At the time of fumikomi, both feet land. Because then immediately he's pushing again with the back foot to make sure that his body stays straight and he drives through with the momentum. Points that we have to put into our kendo, points that we have to keep in mind, and it's something that is not easy to develop, but something that we can, if we separate it, we can work on all of these elements and then put them together. Which, by the way, I saw something here when he moves, when Ega Sensei moves. Okay, so watch this step right here. I was talking about how Kajitani moves, and this is how Kajitani moves, but he moves like this much more frequently, right? So like he moves like this a lot, where he's kind of like hopping around, but very short, very small hop and very smooth, and he's very good at switching from one step to the next. And again, maybe because he has similar height with Ega Sensei, that's why they kind of have this type of motion too, right? Okay. Oh, that could have gone either way, right? I feel like this is so a lot of times a popular waza that you see in, you know, like here for like even for high school and college or whatever, turn the men and go for kote. So I'm not gonna say necessarily that Terachi Sensei trained the man. Maybe it felt like that. He kind of went up and he created a big motion from the opponent. I mean, a big opening from the opponent by going around with a big motion into that kote. It's a good technique to get a reaction, you know, like to, threaten the man and then go around for the kote. I think it's a good technique also to start also learning how to do like not continuous waza, but like different timings and different distances, because you have to approach to do it right. You have to approach the opponent to show that man, and then you have to do a very short step for that kote. So to understand how to do properly footwork, I think it's also a good technique to. It's a fun way to develop opportunities for ippon, while also, if you're attentive to it, working on improving your kendo and your footwork. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, very good decote. Timing was great, right? It kind of like slapped and slide the kote, but very good timing. Okay, so these are all the ippons from this round. What I wanted to do is I wanted to watch over a little bit of this this fight. First, because it has a good angle for us to watch it, and then second, because both of them get to score, so we get to see a little bit of a back and forth between the players. But mainly, what I want to look at is how they approach each other and how they go around. Their challenges of approaching the opponent. Oh, nice man, dude. And if you watch it, sorry, very, very far away, right? From very far away. So, it's very interesting. Look what he does with the shinai. He checks it a little bit, kind of knocks it, but he's not necessarily knocking it off. He just does like a little bit of a check and then immediately goes in. The one thing I have to say is that we were talking about keeping the hands in. And if you watch, in here, he kind of extended the hands out a little bit too early. He did that, but at the same time, he did also that check. So maybe this is the reason why he did that, right? I like to keep the hands a little bit in, or try to keep the hands in a little bit longer. But in this case, worked perfectly. Also, a lot of power on that Fumikomi, right? On that Fumikiri and Fumikomi, watch. So he's pushing the whole body. He's creating momentum. Both feet are in the air. As soon as he lands, he is hopping off the floor, right? So a lot of times people tend to come in a weird angle, and the back foot, they need to have the back foot drop in before they kind of pull that, or they do that push with the Fumikomi. The Fumikomi, even if the back foot is not there, because sometimes in the heat of the moment you don't do it perfectly, you have to push and you have to explode out of that foot. Because if you watch, just let's break this down. Look at this follow through. He does the Fumikomi. He does the Fumikomi very strongly, and he pushes off the ground even before the back foot lands. So he's literally jumping with the back foot first and then jumping with the front foot. That's how much energy he's putting in there. Then he's pretty much landing with both feet and getting his stability. And as he's moving backwards with both feet. And it's something that I think many of us kind of get lazy on it. Sometimes we have to wait for the back foot to drop before you put the push in. It shouldn't be like that. When you do Fumikomi, you should explode from the floor. You should, what's the word that I'm looking for? When you do your Fumikomi, it should be powerful, and it's not necessarily that you want to push down, but you want to do the Fumikomi to push you forward, to pull you forward, to keep that momentum going. So don't stop the momentum, and you have to put energy, even if that means just jumping off the floor with that foot again. Oh, nice attempt for that Hikiwasa, right? Watch. As he's going, as they're both kind of going back, he sets up the distance, and he sets up with that Hikiwasa very nicely. Look, the smooth stepping here. So smooth footwork is going to give you the opportunity to attack at the moment that the opening will be there. So if you watch the Kenshi on the right, which is white right now, he steps in and immediately brings the back foot to get her ready. And you see how I don't know if you see or you notice the heel going down, meaning that that's when he's engaging that back leg to keep pushing forward. And he didn't have the opportunity to go, but that leg was ready to push. Aaron, you're saying that the back foot was up so high. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that this is heat of the moment type of thing. We work in our practice to have that perfect distance, that sweet spot that we're always working for, but we all have the ability to either go further or attack from a shorter distance as well. And sometimes when you do that, it's just not gonna look perfect, right? It's not gonna be perfect. That doesn't mean it's gonna be bad or ugly kendo or whatever. Also, these guys are very young, so the way that they practice kendo is also a little bit different. That how, like, for example, we just watch Hachidan, and their kendo sometimes looks different. It looks a little bit more athletic, and there are things that they do that is not necessarily good. I'm not going to say practice to look like this, but at the same time, I don't like to say that your kendo should never look like this, right? A lot of times in the heat of the moment when you're practicing to put all that energy in there, your kendo is not going to look as pretty. Yes, we work to improve it, but I don't think we should be too critical into, this is bad. Yeah, if you're doing consistently, yeah, this is bad. But these guys, I see a lot of these guys practicing on day-to-day basis and stuff like that, and their kendo, some of the younger ones, when they do that, it does look like that. But when they're practicing, let's say for Shinza, and they switch that mentality, they know how to do it. So that is actually a very good debate, or not a debate, but it's something to study a lot, because I was talking about putting power and speed. I was actually talking to Kajitani about power and speed being used correctly, and the answer that he gave me on that is like, it is a very difficult question, right? It's a very difficult thing to communicate, because you want to have people do 120%, put everything on that attack, and sometimes it doesn't look as good. But you have to understand that it doesn't look as good and try to improve it. And it's something that I feel that sometimes maybe when senseis are too close on this, they kind of make the person not focus on also putting power into it. So it's a hard balance to talk about. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep wasting time on that. Hope you guys know what I mean. So, Aaron, you said that definitely happens to you when you leave further an attack and your sensei calls you out on it all the time. So you tried tying it up recently. So this is, I think, the key word. The key word in all of this is leap further for an attack. The question is, should you be attacking that far? And why do I say this? Maybe if you're fighting a slower opponent, you feel that you have that opportunity and you can take it. But could you take that same ippon against somebody that is faster, right? And should you be attacking from that far? Because remember, the farther away you attack from, the more predictable you're going to be, the more that the opponent's going to understand your timing. And if you have somebody that is really good and catching this, you can be beat up on a Debana Men or Kaeshi Do, Degote and all that stuff. Maybe not Degote because you're coming from so far, but definitely Kaeshi Do. It's a good technique to go against that. And if you're throwing your shinai forward, this is something I want to make a video about, but I'm going to share it here for now because you guys are here, so I appreciate you guys. If you're coming in from a far man and you're trying to stay compact, I'm sure many of you have experienced this, that you're faster than your opponent, and for some reason when you do man and they do I man, they always knock you out of place when you're fighting somebody slower, because you want to be compact, you want to be quick, but they don't care and they come with a bigger motion. So when they're coming in, they have two chances of deflecting you, on the way up or on the way down. So even if they don't get the man, they always mess up your man. So this is something that you can use to your advantage too, understanding the different types of men that you can do. But I'll make a video about that. You saying like that, but not that good, obviously. Yeah, I don't think any of us, maybe some of us have that, but like we have to work hard to get this. Very nice. Oof. Oh, they're doing gogi. What happened? Why do you guys think that he got that Hansoku? This is very interesting, right? Very. I have a theory. I have a theory of why he gets a Hansoku here. And I think it's because he is... It looks like he's running the clock by attacking, but not really attacking. Kind of just coming in and blocking, right? And for that reason, he does it a couple times. And I think for that reason, Shinpens decides to give a Hansoku on that. Right? Every time that he comes in, he's not really attacking. He's doing the Fumikomi. He's doing like he's going to attack, but then immediately going in for a cover. And maybe the judges don't think that this should be the approach. Because remember, a lot of the things that are happening now with this new rules are in order to avoid stalling of time. So maybe this is the reason why he got a Hansoku, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. It's a great study for us to kind of like become better Shimpan and to understand the rules better. Kidling, you see, I would say that he was separating, right? Because like he comes in, you see, he comes in, and then after he comes in, immediately he goes back to separate, right? And then he does it again here. And well, in this one, he wasn't separating. He was actually walking forward. So maybe that would be the reason too. But wait, hold on. I think in this one, yeah, you see here, he comes in with this cover. He takes the Subasiri Eye. He takes a couple steps, like maybe one step in, and then immediately separates. But the fact that he's coming in close in distance and kind of doing this a couple of times, maybe the judges feel that this is a way for him to stall the clock because he has an Ippon above. Right? Maybe. Oh, whoa. When was that? Ah, I knew this was gonna happen. Okay. So, there was Hansoku. And now, I always say this, every time that you reset a fight, watch this. Every time you reset a fight, you have to be careful because it's a moment where your opponent can shift and surprise you. And I think this is exactly what happened here. Very nicely. So smoothly walks in towards the opponent. See, and he does a very far man. One thing that I mentioned this before, but I said again, he is launching his body but keeping his hands closed. And he decides to move the tip of the sword and throws the hand in at the moment when the fumikiri is happening. And this gives him the opportunity to assess the distance, to go in a different target if he needs to, but overall it just makes it a little bit harder for his opponent to either block or counter or deflect. So something you want to definitely put in your repertoire of your skills is being able to throw your body with a lot of energy and power and then throw your hands, because many times we tend to throw the hands slightly before, and not only this makes it easier for the opponent, again, as I said, to block, deflect, and blah blah blah, but also it tends to throw you off balance as well. So practice this, let me know how it goes, and if you have a tip for that, please let me know here in the comments. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go to ancho. Again, Hikiwasa is something that I feel that we all should keep and practice more. So I just like to break it down for a second to watch it. I don't know the result of this one, but I think white has a much more stable kendo. Oof. Very interesting interaction. Look at this. He's kind of like frustrating his opponent. Oh. So, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the Encho, um, the Encho now, after the COVID rules, they make certain time and then they stop it and start again. I don't know what the reason for that is. I think it's kind of killing a little bit of the communication that was established, right? The tension, and resetting it. I don't know your thoughts. Caitlyn, yeah, it gives him a little bit of a break. It's not so much of a break though, right? Like it's just stop and start. So there has to be a reason why they're doing it, right? At the beginning, I heard it was something because they were wearing the mask, whatever, so they wanted to make sure that they were okay. But I don't know. And Rafael, welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. Oh. Definitely trying something different, but so normally when something like this happens, it can change the mentality a lot, right? Because it could mean that red is getting frustrated, so he's trying different things. Or it could also affect white and saying, oh, I almost got hit in that door. So being overprotective of the door and then get hit on the man. Ooh, I was gonna say earlier before that I thought this was gonna be decided by Hickey-Man, but I thought White was going to do the Hickey-Man. Very little bit shallow there, but very, very nice engagement on the body. One of the things that you want to, I was talking about this with a friend of mine here, and he's helping me a little bit with the Mahikiwasa and explaining some of the mechanics of it. And if you didn't know, you want to have your Shinai pointing towards the opponent, right? Like be on the center line. And you want to avoid having a backswing in order to make it quick, right? So the hit, because he has such a small swing, it could be very weak. So the only way to make it stronger is to use the body properly. So, sorry. If you watch, he drops in with his body and Fumikomi pushes him off. And that's how he gets much more impact, or a better impact against the opponent. Very nice. Very cool. Very interesting. So one of the things that I'm trying to do myself right now, it's understanding how to improve my body posture, especially as I'm moving around and then at the moment of Fumikomi. And hopefully I can come up with a good program of good things that you guys can do. And anybody that's having difficulties with that, we can, you know, talk about it and share some other stuff. Guys, if you haven't, the Discord server is, the link for the Discord server will be in the chat in a second. And again, if you would like to support the channel and get some extra perks, you can become a member of the channel. The link will be, yeah, it's in the chat right now. I need to let me know how, well, this time was a little bit off for me because I know there was a time change in US. So I'm trying to, you know, kind of stay consistent with the timing, but for me, it was a little bit later. So maybe I'll do it a little bit earlier for next week. But thank you guys for everybody that's been here. I need to cut it short because now I'm late for the stuff that I have to do. But I really appreciate everybody being here, sharing your thoughts and talking, because you guys keep me motivated to keep studying, to make myself better, and to keep bringing you some good stuff for your Kendo. So if you have any questions, you can pass by the Discord server, or every time that I'm here, you guys are welcome to, you know, share them with me. Caitlin, take care. Thank you very much. You have a good one. Shen, you're welcome. And, you know, I'm here because you guys are here. So thank you very much, guys. You guys have a good rest. Have a good week. Get some good practices. I hope you get some good training. Again, if you have any questions or anything I help with, whether Discord server or Instagram, I think are the best way to reach me. So take care, guys. You have a good one. Okay.